beautiful as they are full of more than just trees and animals. Deep within the foggy, deserted hillside lay the whispers of the ones they call the MelonHeads. The legend began on a foggy autumn night deep in the depths of the Connecticut woodlands. Against the light of the full moon lies the remains of what was once the insane asylum known as Wexford Manor. Mid-November 1889, a terrible fire tore through the town of Milford, a quiet community of farmers. Starting in the valley, the fire spread its fury through the village and up the hillside toward Wexford Manor, leaving behind a graveyard of ash and bone. No one knows where the fire started, but everyone knows where it ended. Nearby townfolk who witnessed the final leg of the smoking debris claim to have seen shadows of human figures lurking into the smoggy distance near the manor. No remains were ever recovered. Legend claims that those translucent figures were the escaped patients from Wexford Manor, who found refuge in the woods and created a secret community of inbreds hiding from the world outside. Their name? The MelonHeads. As time went on, fear of captivity kept them lurking in the woods, but with shortage of women to reproduce their offspring, it forced them to seek outside sources to keep their population alive. Sometimes, on dark, stormy nights, the real world and their world collide.
This is where my story begins. On a dark and eerie Friday night in mid-November, there was a crisp wind coming in from the west. The subtle sound of leaves crunching under the tires as I drove down the dark, winding hillside was the only noise that could be heard for miles. I just left work a few towns away, and a detour on the local highway made me take a route that was unfamiliar to me. The first sign that I was alone, as I drove down the meandering road, was that my radio lost all reception. As fear crept in, I tried to call my mom to keep me company, only to realize that all contact to the outside world was disabled. It was only me and the stories that I grew up hearing. It was going smoothly until I noticed a dark shadow on the road ahead of me. I figured it was a dead animal, but as my car rolled closer, the shadow was that of a human, lying lifeless on the ground. I slowed down, terrified and confused as to what to do. Without cell phone service, I couldn't call the police, but my conscience told me to pull over and see if he was okay. I veered the car to the right and pulled over, but as I was coming to a full stop, I noticed a slight movement of the figure's leg. My gut told me to lock the doors and keep driving until I found service so I could call for help. As I continued on the road, I couldn't help but look back at the man. But this time, he was not laying down, but standing, staring at my car as I drove away. And from either side of the road, I caught a glimpse of the silhouetted figures creeping out from the woodland right at the spot where I almost pulled over. I knew immediately it was the MelonHeads. When I found service, I called the police. They searched the woods high and low, but no one was found. They told me that on nights just like this, they've received similar calls, but have never found anything suspicious. I have yet to return to that road, but the legend lives on.